Hey B-Taskers, here is a video to teach how to attempt tasks quickly, and this is the second part after all of the objects have been labeled. Uh, Not all the objects are labeled here, but for the purposes of demonstrating, I'm going to get into the attributes. So first, what I'm doing is selecting a vehicle, checking the label. So it looks like this is the correct label. And then I'm going to go ahead and check some of the other attributes. It's set to stationary, so that's also good. So first there's the global attributes. But before I go into the global attributes, I do want to check the per frame attributes. So it looks like in this frame, it's going to be 0 to 20, but I'm not going to go ahead and select it yet. First thing I'm going to do is just scroll through the frames. And I'm going to just get an idea of how the occlusion might change. So I'm able to see the camera view here in this little box. And I'm getting a good idea as I'm scrolling through the frames, how occluded is this car. Right off the bat, I saw that the brake lights, they are not discernible. So I've already decided that it's can't tell for brake lights. And even if it gets more occluded than this, it's going to be can't tell. But the only thing I'm really watching for right now is how much more occluded it's going to get. So far, it's still 0 to 20%, and we're already at half of all the frames. So so far so good. Okay, now we see that it's starting to get a little bit more occluded, but it's still not occluded enough to get it past 0 to 20. And you might see that it's getting a lot more blurry, but that does not affect the occlusion. So so far so good. Everything is pretty manageable as far as what attributes we need to set them at on this car. So we're getting close to the end, and I still think that the occlusion is 0 to 20, even though our LiDAR car has moved up the block. Oh, okay, right there. So it got a little bit more occluded. It's still pretty visible. I want to still say it is 20 to 40 right there. But right here, all the way up to 79, because there's only that little car blocking it. Well, what we'll do is we're going to go to the frame selector, and then all the way to frame 79. We're going to select 0 to 20 on occlusion. All right, and then from the first frame, and since we know we're getting further and further away from this vehicle, and there's no other camera that we're able to look at the attributes at through here, we're just going to set brake lights to can't tell. All right. Oops. Here, let's make sure we do that right. Oh, okay. Perfect. We want to make sure we get all the frames. And same thing with the signal lights. There's really no change to the signal lights. So we're just going to double click on the signal lights that they are can't tell. All right, so now we can move on to the global attributes. First question asked, is the object parked in every frame? It's not moving, and it hasn't moved at all. So we're going to say yes. And then it asks, are there any lights on? And we can't tell because we don't know what the signal lights are. We can't see the front end of the car. So we're just going to select can't tell. Same thing with reverse lights. There is not a clear view at all starting from the first frame on this. So we're going to maintain the status quo. Keep it on can't tell. All right, and then finally, is a vehicle towing or being towed? And we just want to say neither. Awesome. So that takes care of all the attributes for all the on this stationary vehicle. And thanks so much for watching. Hope this helped, and happy tasking.